Hey, good morning. It's Saturday. It's Melanie with Mel's Muse. I'm sitting here procrastinating. I started a couple paintings yesterday. I like to do more than one thing at a time. And I just don't have the morning energy. My coffee hasn't kicked in yet, so I'm not ready to jump into them. But it might also be because I thought of something at like 3 in the morning that I wanted to try with the Precious Moments figurine. Do you ever do that? I hope I'm not alone in the my brain is thinking of a million things when I should be sleeping. And do you see this? It's the symbol of this t-shirt, and it's driving me nuts. Every time I look down, I think I spilled something. You know, ladies, we spill stuff there all the time. Anyway, see? Brain went off on a different tangent. So at 3 in the morning, I was thinking, how can we color these figures without paint? Not everyone has paint, or I really like to try all the other things all the time. And I am the queen of mixed media. I probably have every mixed media. And if you think of one, ask me, because if I don't have it, I'm going to get it and I'm going to try it. So I wanted to do something with these. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 of them because I made a lot of Harry Potter figurines out of these. This is the piece I didn't need. I broke this off and set them aside. So I was thinking, how can we paint the complexion without paint? Because you've probably figured out a lot of times when you paint the complexion, it gets streaky with paint. You can try a makeup sponge. You can try air. I have one. What is it called? Paint sprayer, little airbrush painter thingy. Works good too. But you have to frisk at the eyes first. But I wanted to just try the other mixed media that I have. So what I'm going to try is, what happens if we use a Copic marker, alcohol marker? What happens if we use the new Flesh Tone Sharpies? What happens if we use a Posca pen? What happens if we use pan pastels? What about color pencil and a watercolor pencil? I'll tell you what, I already tried the ink. Well, maybe it beat it up, but it certainly dried nicely. I tried all these on this little piece first, so I'll show you what it looks like dry. Let's go through these and see what we find out. I'm gonna turn you around here. I don't know how people make their camera so it can do 2 different things. I guess you need 2 different cameras. I guess I need my iPad set up so we could do this better, where you could see me and see this, right? But does it really matter? I know sometimes when I watch videos, I don't want to just see people's hands. Okay, so let's see this little girl and see what happens if I take this Copic, whatever way you say it, marker that's been sitting in a drawer forever. I don't use them. It's just something I bought. So let's change her up a bit. You know what I really wanted to do is get out my alcohol spray. Because I bet you if we use alcohol spray on areas that we mess up, we could probably wipe this off. And I bet you can tone this down a bit with some alcohol spray. See, she's a little streaky. For hair, it would be good, because I don't care if it's streaky. You know what I mean? Are you seeing this? Hair, it would be fine. Face, maybe not so fine. But I bet there's ways around this. What I'm saying is, experiment. I mean, why not? It's fun. You're doing it for fun, right? Because if you think you're going to make tons of money off these little figures, oh, well, I'm sad to tell you. It's not true. Shipping, materials, cardboard boxes, bubble wrap, the note card. It's mostly for fun and spreading the joy. I like to know that some of my art is in somebody else's house. I really, really like that. All right, we're gonna come back to her after she dries. But right now, looks a little messy. Again, probably great for hair. Let's see what happens when it dries. So that was alcohol marker. Now let's try Sharpie. If you like to color, you might really like to do this. You can really get into details with these little pointy tips. So little details for these, yes. Covering a whole face, I don't know. It's yet to be determined. Again, hair, probably great. What I'll also need to know is what kind of spray am I going to seal it with? Or what happens if I paint a sealer on? I have painted a sealer over some paint pens, some acrylic paint pens, and it has smeared and smudged the whole thing, which is really annoying. So a spray sealer like Rust-Oleum's Satin or Matte, I do not like a gloss on the face, might work way better. I can't get under her chin too well. Let's see. So the fatness of this keeps me from getting down in some of these areas. Just, yeah, see, like I can't get right there behind her hand. Again, I'm going to get some alcohol and a Q-tip or something and see what happens in a minute with that. All right, what about a Sharpie? Sharpie paint pen. Not a Sharpie. A Posca paint pen. Sorry about that. Told you the coffee hasn't kicked in. Do you have coffee in the morning? I have a protein shake. It's a coffee protein shake. That gives me some energy, I think. Or else it's all in my mind. I don't know, but whatever it is, it hasn't kicked in. Do you hear my dog snoring? I have a almost 9-year-old Maltipoo over there snoring in the corner. Finally found a dog food she'll eat. Pickiest dog in the world. Or maybe it's just because I made my husband stop feeding her house food. And she's starving, so she'll eat it. Okay, well, this Posca paint pen, way less streaky than the Sharpie and the alcohol marker so far. But this will dry more of a paint finish, so I bet you I won't be able to manipulate it with spray alcohol and a cotton ball afterwards. See her? Okay, so that was this. I'm not coloring in the whole face. That would be the most boring video you've ever seen in your life if I sit here and color in front of you. I don't like long videos. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. All right. This is a palette pastel. Pan pastel. The palette pastel is a brand by Jane Davenport, an Australia artist. This is a pan pastel, and I have all of them, and I love them. They're great for paintings. They're great for the backgrounds of paintings. They block in the background really easy. Look at that. Ooh, that's pretty. That is pretty. And I have used this for like a blush technique before on these figures, and it works great. I haven't tried to color in a whole face with it yet, so here we go. It feels like I'm buttering toast. There's a slight edge, rough edge to the figurine. It reminds me of Pastel Matte, my favorite paper to use with these pan pastels. So it really takes the pastel without a lot of dust being left behind. And this is the tool that you can buy to go with these. I've also used little makeup brushes. This, you can buy these separate. You can buy a bunch of different shapes of these. Square, pointy, round. Whoop. You see her? Can you see how that would be really good for like a blush technique? You just take this and... Now, it's not all over uniform. You'd really have to work at that, getting it uniform. Rub it in there. but for like a shadowing, bronzing, glazing. She has a bit of blush to her nose. Put a little pink on her nose or her cheeks with this. This would be great. Instead of paint, having a big circle blob, this would be a lot better. And I know some of you are using makeup. This is just highly more concentrated pigment made for mixed media. But if makeup works, hey, do what works. Do what's fun. Do what you like. Do it with what you have. And last but not least, remember, I'm also going to go run and grab my alcohol spray and see what happens with these. What do I got here? Caran d'Ache watercolor pencil. Do I have any water? Melanie. God, you're not very organized. All right, look, remind me, I'm putting the watercolor pencil on this side. It goes on really nice. Again, it's fun. It's like coloring. Oh. I don't know why she has a pink face, because I want her to have a pink face. But hey, that covers really nice. And you can even layer it. What if I put some of that on top of this? Give her some pink cheeks, see? Can you see any of that? The lighting in here stinks, I'm sorry. I am not a professional. All right, and so that was my colored pencil. My watercolor pencil, okay? The pink, the dark pink. Now let's use Holbein regular color pencil on the other side. This is more waxy, but it covers nicely. It covers really nicely. And guess what? It's for you people that like to color out there. Oh God, it's fun. I could probably color her whole outfit. Well, not probably, I could color her whole outfit. I could just sit there and color her whole outfit. So I guess if you don't want to take paints with you and you want to, instead of take a coloring book, you could take your figure. All right. Certain areas it doesn't go so good, but I think what I did here was I dremeled. So maybe I dremeled off that little bit of rough coating that's on these. No, it's okay. Hey, I'm doing this for the first time too, you know? Well, wherever you have Dremel, if there's a scratch or something, it doesn't really get down in there unless you have to work at it. No. So that's regular color pencil. And this is a watercolor pencil. Now let me grab my alcohol spray and let's see what happens to all of these if we put a little bit of alcohol on there, if we can manipulate those markers and pencils. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I'm not going to go downstairs and get a Q-tip. So I'm just going to use one of these. This is another one of those Pan Pastel applicators. This one has blue on it. This one's a little dirty, so let me just turn it around to a clean side. Hey, we're just going with the flow here. And let's spray some alcohol. This is alcohol. Where'd I get it? Temu. Okay. All right. What happens if I dip this in alcohol onto this Copic marker? See how this could be good for hair, but look at her face, it's streaky. What happens if I put alcohol on top of that? Can I unstreakify it? No, but I can definitely wipe it off. Most of it. Interesting. So that wipes that off. What happens if I spray it with a sealer? I'm going to do that in a minute. All right, this isn't going to be very smart, is it? because I got brown all over this one. Let's see if I can wipe it off. All right, this is the Sharpie. Let's see what happens if I put alcohol in the Sharpie. Yeah, it's just wiping it off. It's not really, I was hoping it would just thin it down like you could thin down watercolor. Nah, but it does help get it off if you wanted to wipe it off because you didn't like it. And this one is the Posca paint pen, which probably won't do anything since that's should be an acrylic. Oh, look at that. Maybe it's not all the way dry. Wiped it off there too. And what is this? Pan Pastel. Should just wipe this off. Yeah, so anyway, looks like you can get these off with alcohol. What happens if I use water on the, well, let's do the alcohol on the plain pencil side. It does not wipe it off. Pay attention here. So alcohol on the colored pencil does not wipe it off. It smooths out the appearance. Very important there. Really cute. It's smoothing it out. Now, alcohol shouldn't do anything on this paint side. I'm not even gonna, this is a colored pencil, water-soluble colored pencil. So I'm not gonna put alcohol in there. But I am gonna put water so you can see. Here's my water spray bottle. I know this stuff is fascinating, is it? Is it only fascinating to me? All right, that side's covered with Pan Pastel, so I'll use that side. I'm gonna dip it in water, and we're gonna put it on the side that has the water-soluble colored pencil. And that just turns it into like a water paint, basically. And it can wipe that right off of there if you want. Now, one more thing I want to find out. What happens if I spray these? Let's say I get a finish with whatever it is I used, and I really like it, and I want to save it. What if I really liked that Sharpie effect? What if I really liked that Pan Pastel effect? And what if I sprayed them? So let me grab some spray. I'm about to spray in the house. Don't do what I do. I like a matte on the face, at most a satin, but not a semi-gloss or gloss. But that's just me. Maybe you like shiny. This is probably not good to do at the dining room table. But my porch door is open is my excuse. Yeah, this is probably really dumb to do it here. Yeah, well, I never said I was smart. Just trying to do a little bit. All right, so I sprayed the Copic marker. Spraying the Sharpie. I'm spraying the Posca pen. I'm spraying the Pan Pastel. And spraying the color pencil.